VXR no. Yo. VXR. Look. VXR, ride of the brave, blazing trails, every road we crave. Flash through streets like a silver streak, turbo sounds that make the night speak. Roll out fresh streets, know the raw, bare BHD, hear the lion's core. Gleaming on the street lights, paint a glow, every turn, every wind, adrenaline flow. Sporting Recaros, gripping tight, night prowler in the light. Alloys glinting, 18-inch set, in the fast lane, best bet yet. Hear that VXR, it's a beast unleashed, thrill after thrill, never cease, chasing.
What's up, guys? I'm with my boy Raheem, and today we're filming his beautiful Vauxhall Astra VXR. And guys, there's so much I love about this car, but I want you to hear it from the man himself. Ray, say hey to the camera.
You're right, what's up?
And I'll just zoom in on your Instagram here as well. So if you guys want to follow him on Instagram, definitely make sure you follow, check out his photos. Majority of them probably going to be of this beautiful car. All right, so bro, tell me about your car.
Yeah, so this is my 2014 Astra GTC VXR. Bought it about 2.5 years ago now for about 14k. It had 41,000 miles on the clock. It's since just hit 80,000 miles on the clock now.
Yeah, we're literally just sitting in it while you hit 80 on the way here. Yeah.
Milestone for you, but anyway, so yeah, I bought it. It was meant to be standard when I went to go pick it up, but it had aftermarket DIY induction kit on it, and it had the secondary decal already deleted. So obviously I didn't know that, and neither did the dealership when I pointed out to them, but I still took the car anyway. So since then I've got rid of the DIY induction kit. I don't know what it was. It was like a foam filter with the stock pipe and some metal thing around it for blocking heat. It wasn't really good.
Let's pop the bonnet and have a look.
So yeah, pop on it. So it's a bit filthy at the moment, but so I got Corny Sport induction kit with the, so funny enough, actually this is the upgraded version of their filter, because I had the big max airflow that they did. I forgot what the millimeter was, but it was wider than this. But I'm assuming that they realized that there was loads, because I had issues with it. The car kept on breaking the actual housing here for the MAF sensor.
Oh, it's just popping off while you're driving.
Yeah. I think this is probably the third or the fourth one I've got. But since I've got this upgraded one, I've had no issue now. Yeah, with it cracking the MAF housing. It kept cracking either around here or in there. Now there was thoughts of over tightening and all of that, but it wasn't that for some reason. But yeah, so I got that along with the I can't even remember what this pipe is called now that goes with it, but yeah, people know. I changed some of the silicone hosing, so I changed one there and the one that goes down into the intercooler side, that side. I was gonna change this side all the way up, but I didn't get around to doing it. Yeah, that's right. So what else it does have, which you can't really see, is it's got the WG Motorsports 4H short shifter down in there. It's also got a Scorpion primary. And it's got a Cobra Sport Venom back exhaust.
Let's have a look at that.
I didn't make them stick out too much. Now, from what I've seen, most people that actually get this, they remove the silver surround here that you can see.
Yeah. Because it looks good though, like being able to see the pipes coming through like that.
Yeah, so most people do that because then obviously the pipes can come through a little bit more, you can see a bit more. But at the same time, as much as I wanted them to come through like that, at the same time I kind of wanted to be kind of hidden at the same time. So yeah. I mean, unless you're there, I mean, obviously if you're directly looking, but if you're like standing from the top, you wouldn't be able to really tell what's going on.
Subtle look.
Yeah, so I went for more the subtle look. Trying to think what else I've done to. Obviously it's got the full Maxton design spare kit.
Looks beautiful. I love these Maxton kits.
Yeah. And I got it mapped by South Tunings back when they were working with Bevo. I don't know if he still tunes cars. From what I heard, it doesn't sound like it. But yeah, so Bevo is the one who was the map writer for the tune, and South Tuners put it on for me, and we dynoed it. So it had the map on for a year. And so my first time I dynoed it was a year later, because when it got mapped originally, why I couldn't dyno it is the gearbox couldn't handle the power, so clutch was completely gone off. You just slipping. So I had to get onto what else? I forgot that. So I got on stage 1 RSS uprated clutch in it. And yeah, it puts down. So when we dynoed it, it puts down 331 brake horsepower. That was on BP 97 fuel there.
I'll put it, look at.
So on 99, I'd probably say it's about 335 brake horsepower.
All right, bro, so let's get into the car and we'll go for a drive and see how this performs.
Yeah, let's do it. It's a secret mode, so you have to press traction and then press it twice, and then it goes ESP competitive mode.
Oh wow.
So traction's off, and then ESP kind of lets you
give you a little bit more play.
I completely forgot about that mode, I can't lie.
That was brutal. Mate.
It sounds louder, is it just me? But
one thing I always notice about this car is that it's super loud. Like literally every time you've come to my house and you started this thing, I've been like, goodness me, this is a monster. Car, bro.
the cold starts on this car is crazy. I don't know what they do, but for some reason cold starts is just the loudest you will hear this car. Even I'm starting to wonder now on full acceleration, because obviously you can hear the exhaust out get louder the higher up, but I'm starting to even wonder if the cold start's even louder than that. Bro, if you feel the diff, I could feel the diff, mate.
Oh my god.
Obviously, where one of the wheels spinning up a lot quicker, and the diff is trying to control it. Bro, my hand was like this, trying to control this wheel, bro.
I don't know what you were doing on the internet last night, but that doesn't mean nobody knows. Private browsing isn't truly private. With NordVPN, you don't have to worry about that. It uses a secure tunnel to protect your data as you browse, so that what you do online stays online. Get up to 72% off using the link in the description below. Back to the video.
It's a lot scarier, for sure.
It actually is.
love the sound of this car, and especially that, just all the noise up front, the turbos, when the air is being sucked in, it just sounds amazing. That induction kit is fantastic.
That's another thing I like, the cold start as well. Yeah, the exhaust is loud, but if you're at the front, just hearing all that air just getting sucked in. This car obviously has normal, which is eco, which is a start. Then you have sport, stiffens up the suspension a little, and then you have VXR, which is track mode, which increases throttle response and stiffens up the suspension to the max. But then the car has a hidden ESP competitive mode. Now what that does is turns traction control completely off, and then it puts the ESP stability to about half. So if you wanted, you could get a little sliding out, which I've done before with the car. But what with the mat now, what I've discovered or realized obviously is because this car, don't quote me on that, but it feels more like it's a boost by gear type situation where it might not be a boost by gear, but it definitely doesn't give you the full 300 brake horsepower in each and every gear.
Yeah.
But when you turn traction control off though, you definitely feel like there is no restriction on the power going through each gear.
It makes sense.
So don't quote me on if anyone wants to search up the VXR, don't quote me on boost by gear type situation and all of that. I'm not all that mechanically in sound and all of that, but I know for a fact when you don't have it in ESP competitive or when you don't have traction control off, you can feel some sort of restriction to the power. Whereas when traction control is completely off, you're feeling the full power all the time. Yeah.
Right. Would you recommend someone to buy this car if they were considering it?
Oh yeah, mate. I'd recommend everyone's buying this. I mean, obviously you have to do your research because the engine in this car, it's very temperamental.
Yeah.
So if you treat it right, you will have no issues. Most people say, oh yeah, mapping this car is what kills the engine and everything, but I've been in the forums, the Facebook chats, and there's people with their completely bone stock engine, lower miles than me. I'm talking, I've heard of like 40, 50,000 miles, and their piston's gone. I'm here 80k, 200 years later with this tune, running the same brake horsepower for engine or something, ragged here and there, and touch wood, no issues. So
scary stuff.
But I would definitely say this is definitely a car that, for the money, especially what they're worth right now. The market's slow at the moment. You can't go wrong. It looks amazing, sounds amazing with the right exhaust setup.
Oh yeah.
And definitely, I would have to say as well, you enjoy it more with at least a minimum stage 1 tune, because what you'll notice straight away from standard is the turbo lag. You notice that instantly. Don't get me wrong, it's quick for standard car, 280 brake horsepower. But you notice the turbo lag very quickly. But once you put the stage 1 tune on it, turbo lag is completely gone. I should probably add though, I said that mine was mapped by Bevo and everything. So with them, this is considered, well, at the time it was considered a stage 1 tune. However, due to the horsepower putting out by the other actual companies that specify and deal with this car, so I'm talking WG Motorworks and Courtney Sports, the two major ones, they would probably say that this is a stage 2 tune due to the horsepower putting out is around to be honest, it's actually around the stage 2 / some stage 3 cars are running. I've heard of stage 3 cars running, some of them running as low as 336 brake horsepower. Yeah, and those are cars that have everything, including the induction in the intercooler. Which is the only thing this car is missing. So it's still running on the stock intercooler.
How much would it be if you wanted to slap an intercooler in this?
So the intercooler I'm looking at, the Wagner intercooler, just for the intercooler load is around £900. Jeez. Yeah, that's the one thing as well that I've probably put people off with this car, is everything for this car is expensive.
Bro, you were telling me about the brakes. How much are those?
Yeah, so what I'm running for, which I was saying to you before, is that so the disc alone, for this car, the Brembo 355mm disc, no labor, is around £800 just for this. The 2 front discs only.
I think a lot of people, you get into a car like this, you don't realize just how much the parts cost.
That was pretty much me when I got into the car. Cause so yeah, I got into the car without doing all the actual checks. I did like the typical MOT check and mileage history check, but I didn't know about all the common faults, common problems with this car and all of that.
Yeah.
Or else, because if I had known the knowledge I knew then,
You think
I probably wouldn't have bought this car.
I hear it.
Because the first thing most people try really tend, unless you can see like the history of how it's been serviced there, because that's another thing as well. I bought this car without any service history. I was told there was part service history, but there wasn't. So there was not even a manual that didn't even come with the car. Nothing.
Yeah, that is scary.
That's
how many miles did you get on?
I got it on 41,000 miles.
It's not too bad.
I test drove the car.
Yeah.
And it drove flawlessly, no issue whatsoever. So I was like, you know what, I'll go buy it. I mean, first thing I do anyway when I get any car is I do a full major service on it.
Yeah.
So when I got it, both oil, engine and gearbox oil was changed.
Yeah.
Spark plugs were done. Obviously, all the other miscellaneous, the filters and all of that was changed. And since then, obviously, if you want to keep the engine running tip-top shape, like the engine and gearbox. So engine oil gets changed every time because it comes up to tell you what to change it. But from what I've worked out, it's about every 5,000 miles. And while I do that, I do the gearbox oil at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what they say about lifelong oil again now. Unless you want your gearbox to go, I'd advise you, especially get this car, around 5,000 miles.
All that stuff is nonsense about distilled for life. It doesn't make any difference. That's why you have like BMW gearboxes blowing up at like 100,000 miles because it never had gearbox oil changed.
Yeah, well the thing is with this car as well, because it has the diff inside the gearbox, what tends to happen after a while, the gearbox is the diff starts to whine. Now, anyone who does not know, and funnily enough, when I bought this car, it had that issue. I did not know. And the guys, the dealership I bought, we were trying to work because we thought it was power steering, because the whining noise you hear, might I add, is only when you full lock the car. Either way, is when you hear the whining noise. It's not when you're driving. You hear like a little whining noise and you think, oh, something's crazy.
Like the smaller cars do that as well, like little, your little Polos and stuff. When you full lock, you hear a little noise.
Because my brother's one does that.
Yeah.
So me and the dealership, we thought it was power steering. So obviously, they changed the power steering. It was still there, and I was like, you know what? Let me research into it, and then I found out that people like, you changed the gearbox oil, let's just sort it out. Yeah. And changed the gearbox oil, sort it out.
Wow. Gosh. Yeah, I think this car is just fantastic. Like, especially the value for what you're getting as well. It's just what other cars like this size that I can get for this budget as well deliver this much styles and fun like this. It's crazy. So how many have you seen like roughly in your color? Like, I know like we went to Silverstone a while ago and I think I saw someone else with your car in the same color for like the first time in person. I didn't see that many of them in a regular.
Yeah, so in total, how many different ones I've seen of mine is probably about 5.
Right.
Now, how many they made, I don't know. I think the ardent color, don't quote me, I want to say started around 2011, 2012 time.
Wow.
And then they stopped it in 22 because of how soft and light the paint is. Like, it's easy for this paint to chip and all of that.
Yeah.
It's a very soft paint. So that's why they stopped it. They replaced it with either the flash or the buzz blue. So they had one of the two, but one of those two is a newer one that started after 2014. I want to say it's the buzz blue.
Yeah.
So this was one of my dream cars, which is why I got it. So I think it is back when I was driving. I had a normal J CDI 1.6.
Yeah.
And I got into one, and I was just looking up different types, what types of modification we could do to types of cars like that. And that's when I discovered that they had a VXR version. And from that moment, I was like, I'd love to own that car one day. And then, funnily enough, actually, the opportunity come up and I rushed into getting this car as well. That's another thing, because I had another car before, which I only owned for probably 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity came up where someone wanted to buy that car that I had for the same price I paid. And this car was for sale.